Who doesn't love exploring historical cities, and then when you get the chance, going on a huge, merciless killing spree, all in the name of freedom and liberty? Yes, it's the Assassin's Creed series I'm talking about, and whilst it really doesn't make a lot of sense, it is really enjoyable. Now, I was a big fan of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, so I can only hope so much more for the latest entry in the series, and that's Assassin's Creed Revelations. It's another Assassin's Creed title, and this time we watch both Master Assassins get really old. Developed by Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Revelations concludes both stories of Altair ibn Lahed and Ezio Auditore in the beautifully recreated city of Constantinople. Wasn't terribly excited about this big title, but free-running, sword fighting and air assassinations are always fun. Or is it getting a little old? Let's check it out. There's a brilliant introduction in Revelations as we watch a much wiser and older Ezio break into a Templar castle and kick turkey. But the game soon deteriorates after that. Desmond is stuck in a mind matrix with no escape and no plot. Ezio is searching Constantinople for Masyaf keys and more understanding about the artifacts, and Altair is barely even there as he relives important memories of his past. The story is pretty weak between all three, with Altair's being the strongest. At no point did I really care what was going on with Ezio, nor did I care anything about any of the characters. Whilst Constantinople is a great city to explore, and there are a lot of things to do in this game, it seemed almost too similar to previous titles in the series. There are many features of this game that lead me to think that Revelations is more of an afterthought, especially with clumsy and frustrating controls, stupid and relentless AI, long loading times. But thankfully, Revelations is saved by its unique and better refined multiplayer this time round. Out of all the cities in the Assassin's Creed series, I think Constantinople is my favourite. The level design is spectacular and makes for a very diverse and eye-catching playground for Ezio to run his old ass around. The palette of colours is beautiful and it's a real joy to explore, though it's a shame that many of the character designs are poorly done with civilians and NPCs. Models are repeated, their movements repetitive, and they just don't seem alive. Ezio and other main characters have been given better treatment, and the cutscenes would be good if they were interesting. The action is still fun though, and there's a multitude of kills to watch with different weapons, and some of the heavy action pieces can be quite entertaining. The soundtrack is one of the game's strong points and adds a lot to your play, but other effect sounds aren't as strong or diverse. All in all, Revelations looks and sounds the best in the series, but only by a small margin.
You have my word. Gather your men. This will attract some attention.
There's a few new features in Revelations, but other than that, it's largely familiar to Brotherhood. The hook blade is perhaps the most significant change, as it allows for Ezio to zipline across town, run over enemies, climb faster, and fight. Then there's Den Defense, where Ezio must protect captured territories by ordering his men to certain elevated positions and basically fight them off strategically. But it really doesn't work. It's a nice idea, but it's cumbersome in execution and drags on. Another tool is crafting bombs, which is done through finding ingredients throughout the city and mixing and matching at crafting stations. These open up your battle options and help personalise your loadout. Missions are diverse and gameplay is well mixed up, but the problem is that it just doesn't flow like it did in Brotherhood. At many times I would be running and jumping across buildings or fighting dozens of enemies, and then I'd hit a nag in the controls or a bug in the game and it would stop. It's so annoying and really pulls you out of the experience. Fighting is largely the same as you try to string attacks together, and recruiting assassins is better handled here. Desmond's scenes are boring as hell, but offer a change in pace, with puzzles and a first-person perspective. Altair's scenes are fun, but they all occur in the same map, so it's very limited. But thank God for the Revelations multiplayer. It's been given more modes, more maps, and a deeper leveling system. If it wasn't for the multiplayer, I really don't think I would have wasted my time here. For For me, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is still the best in the series, and Revelations really does seem like a step back. I mean, the story's a mess, the gameplay is not flowing at all, it's consistently interrupted, and there's a lot of areas that really aren't fleshed out that well. But I will say that running around and exploring is still as fun as ever, and it does have elements that do work, and especially the multiplayer I really think saved this title for me. So I'm going to give it an 8.82 out of 10.01.